Here today with my Oliver Super 77. I wanted to show you something that I bought to put on it, and it's pretty cool. It's a front weight. This is the starter block that goes on the bottom. It fits in right in the front, and 4 bolts holds it on, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And you can stack weights on top of this. You use this little hole right here, and you build them up from there. And anyway, this is the starter block. I went to Michigan to buy this thing. They're very hard to find. I decided not to paint it, to kind of keep it just oiled up the way the rest of the tractor is. And I just think it's really cool. It adds something to it. And if you ever find one of these, they're pretty rare. They fit I think they only fit Supers, Super 66, Super 77, and Super 88s. Mine's of course a Super 77. But as I said, if you find one, they're good. And the stacking weights I think are a little easier to find. I'm not really going to put those on there because I don't need them, number one. They also make a nice bumper so that you don't crush your grill. That could be a good thing. You could push with them too, I'd imagine. Can't get too rambunctious with that. But at any rate, this is what I wanted to show you today. Mainly, I want to show you also another piece that I bought, which I hope to use this spring. It's a International 82 self-propelled combine, or self-propelled pull-type combine. I actually bought 2 of these. I got 2 for about the same price you might pay for one good one. And one of them had a good cylinder and everything else was in good shape, but the head was shot. The other one, the head was good, but the rest of it wasn't good. So I've been cannibalizing and trying to put the best parts from each on this machine. I did take the head off and move it around. That was a little bit of a trick. But I'm anxious to see how this works. It's not as big as the 42 combine. I'm hoping that it'll maybe do a better job in soybeans, although I'm a little concerned the fact that it doesn't have a chopper on the back, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, it's a nice machine. It has scour clean. I don't know if you're getting a really good shot of this with its inside here, but it's got scour clean. And the auger needs a little work. I'm going to have it welded here at some particular point. The bracket down here at the bottom. I have been putting, I don't know if you can tell the difference there, but I've been kind of putting a little mixture of oil, use motor oil and some other stuff on it to try to bring the shine out a little bit. And I think it does make a difference. So maybe I can show you from the back here. Go around it. Maybe the other side shows it better. I think, yeah, this might show a little bit better how this shines this stuff up. If you get something that's a little weathered like this, maybe set out a little bit, just a little oil on it, I think brings it back pretty well. I know a lot of guys these days are using they're cleaning them up and kind of sanding them off with really fine sandpaper or steel wool, and then they put a clear coat on it. I prefer to do it this way. It's a little less costly, and it kind of oils things up too as you go. Anyway, it's a pretty nice machine, and I expect it to do kind of well, hopefully anyway. I got a few more things to do on it, but pretty happy with the way it's turned out so far. I did run it the other day. It seemed to do fine. It's got one of the sieves or chafers back here. You can look in here, maybe see it. It could be improved a little bit. And the other one is pretty good, that part of it anyway. So I'm thinking I'll take this out and change it around, get to it here at some point in time. If you all know how scour clean works, it kind of separates the seed from a lot of the little bits and pieces and other seed that gets in there, and it funnels it out through this hole here in the bottom of the grain tank into a bag that you would attach with these rings. And anyway, it's pretty cool the way it works. I've seen them work. I've never actually had one, so I'm anxious to see how that goes. Anyway, here in the barn, just trying to work on a few things. It's cold right now, but it's not as cold as it's going to be. I might give you a little tour of some of the things we're working on here. This is something that I bought. I actually bought two of these. It's a John Deere 205 corn head, and it goes on one of the 42 pull-type combines, John Deere combines that I have. This one is not too bad in certain places, but it's frozen right now, so we're working to try to get it loosened up. And it's going to need some help. The other one I bought, I think, is actually in better shape, and I don't think it's frozen. So this one will probably end up being the donor, and the other one will be the one that we'll mainly use. So we'll just see how that goes. They're very hard to find. I tried to buy one on auction time a number of years ago, and it was just basically pieces in a box, and it brought a lot of money, more than I was willing to pay for it at the time. And since then, I've only seen 3 come up for sale. But in the past year, a few of them have shown up, so I managed to buy 2 of them at this particular point and try to put them together. You might, I don't know if you remember this. This is a plow that I worked on last winter, and I used it this past year. I did a video with my Super 77 pulling this. It did a great job. And then this is the Oliver Plowmaster plow that I used with the Oliver 70, and it did a nice job as well. Got this old baler over here, the Case 130 baler. I think I've done one video on that a long time ago, but we're going to have a wheat day this year where we use all of our pull-type combines. There should be I think there'll be an Alice Chalmers all-crop 66, one of the 42s, John Deere 42 pull-types, and hopefully this International 82 will be working. And then we're going to bale straw with this Case 130 baler. And so that's something that we'll try to do. Just I'll show you a couple things here in the barn. This is a Case VAC I've had for a long time. I don't think I've featured this in any of the videos, but in the spring, hoping to use it in one of the plow days, and I'll try to get a little shot of that because I know a lot of people like Case VACs. This is one that it's one like the one that we had on a farm growing up. And in fact, the wheel weights are actually from the one that we had there. And it's a good tractor. I had it fixed up a number of years ago to surprise my dad. He got a big kick out of it. He's been dead now, 9 years. And I think I did this, had it fixed up maybe 6 years before he passed away. So it's in still pretty good shape. It doesn't get a whole lot of use. It's basically just a tractor for shows and parades. But anyway, it starts well, runs well, and it should do a good job. The hydraulics are a little leaky on it, but they all do that. Anyway, I'll show you one other thing that I'm working on. Has come around here, and I did finish it, and that's the putting a wide front on my International 450. And I sold a tractor that I used for disking on plowed ground that had a wide front, and I wanted another tractor with a wide front to do that. And so this was the tractor that I nominated for that deal. It was either going to be that or my John Deere 730. And I found this front end, which is in really good shape, and had to go to Michigan to get it, but it was worth the trip. And then worked with it to get it on here last week. I don't